This is the best female deck in all of Clash Royale. Yo, what's going on guys? Ian77 here. In today's video we're going to be playing an all-female deck inside of Clash Royale, and it's actually surprisingly a pretty good deck here, and kind of just a fun challenge, so we're going to give it a go here. And we do have the lovely Firecracker, we do have Archer Queen, and we do have Valkyrie as well, and we do have Ram Rider as kind of our win condition, but you could also kind of say Queen is a win condition, so yeah. And we're actually already at 7 wins and 0 losses inside of a grand challenge, because I've actually been doing pretty well with this deck, surprisingly, and yeah. Alright, so hopping in the first match here, we're going to get a really nice King activation. Looks like it will be a Mega Knight deck. To be honest, you guys, I'm finally feeling your guys' pain with like all the Mega Knight, because a lot of you guys that are in mid-ladder keep on saying how much Mega Knight you face, and recently I've just been facing a crazy amount of Mega Knight as well. Like, I think I faced it like 5 games in a row in this grand challenge, so yeah, kind of crazy, but I feel like it's kind of more of the support cards that are broken in the Mega Knight decks rather than the Mega Knight itself, so yeah. And we're actually gonna Bandit here, predicting the Magic Archer. Let's go, we got it. And that actually might be tower down here. Wow. Yeah, so what I basically did there is I just ran him really thin using the Archer Queen. Like, I went with it right away when he had like not enough elixir for some proper counter, like no proper counter in cycle, so you had to lightning it. Then from there I kind of just eventually got like a princess at the bridge, and then I predicted the Magic Archer at the perfect timing, and just like that we took like almost his entire tower. We don't actually have like a spell in this deck though, but we do have kind of reliable damage with like Princess at the bridge, and also we can kind of get Firecracker chip damage as well if he plays like a unit in front of his tower, so not too weird. We're actually gonna Princess at the bridge. You just want to finish him off as quickly as possible, just in case he goes into like full defense mode and we can't end up breaking through, but yeah, looks like things are going pretty well here. I mean, we have like Valkyrie for his Mega Knight, Bandit for his Golden Knight, and we have our Ram Rider for his Ram Rider. So we have pretty much everything we need here. We do have to defend his last big MK push though. And we're actually gonna go with the Queen up high here, just like to avoid giving him any lightning value, and gonna get the Queen ability off. And yeah, guys, this is the ultimate simp deck right here, but it's actually a really OP deck, surprisingly. And yeah, we're gonna have actually a really easy win against like one of the better decks in the game right now, so you can see how powerful the females are, I guess. Alright, so that's gonna be GG pretty much here. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna be hopping in the next match here up against this guy, and yeah, okay, I was gonna say we will make the first play with this deck. It's not like a too heavy deck, so don't mind making the first play. And he does have Bandit and Wall Breakers, so this might actually be another Mega Knight deck here. It could be like Mega Knight Minor Wall Breakers, and looking like it probably will be that, which is gonna be kind of interesting. Yeah, as I was telling you guys in the previous match, there's just a crazy amount of Mega Knight in grand challenges, at least recently, so yeah. And he is gonna go with the Mega Knight really early on, so yeah. We're honestly not looking too bad against Mega Knight. And by the way, guys, whenever you're facing Mega Knight and you have like a mini tank like a Knight or a Valkyrie, it's always good to let the Mega Knight jump on the Valkyrie or Knight, and when you play it in the middle, so that way like both of your towers can target the Mega Knight. Just a little helpful tip to know. Alright, he's gonna get a delivery off on the Archer Queen, but as you can see, it's so broken. Like, this is why we simp for Archer Queens, because they just get so much damage. Okay, he's gonna go with the aggressive Minor Wall Breakers. He did catch us really low on elixir, so we're just gonna Ram Rider. And surprisingly, he does have Hunter as well, which is a little bit strange, but gonna do a pretty good job against our Ram Rider, so we didn't get as much damage as I was hoping, but we're still not in a bad spot. And we did force him to use the delivery, which is one of his best counters against our Queen, so looking pretty nice here. And we can kind of just try to get like Princess chip little by little, get a few Queens off, and Yeah, maybe a Ram Rider charge when he doesn't have like the right cycle. Alright, we're just gonna go with archers here. Unfortunately, the bandit does dash, so we're gonna have to go with a firecracker as well, which isn't ideal, but he did actually waste a zap there. I guess he wasn't expecting me to like go with the firecracker or something. Not really sure exactly what that zap was for, but yeah, he's gonna go in with the hunter, but honestly the archer queen's just gonna really outclass the hunter. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy this video, because it's kind of just gonna be a guide for how to wreck Mega Knight, I guess, at this point. So yeah, we're gonna apply a bit of double lane pressure here. Against Mega Knight, you can never really like just apply pressure in one lane, because if you just apply pressure in one lane, then they're just gonna like just use the enter the arena ability of the Mega Knight and just like absolutely destroy everything. So you have to always make sure to make some split lane pressure, even if you have a lot more damage in one lane. So that's what we're gonna do here, because we don't really have like a EQ or something to get like damage on his tower besides like our actual troops. That's why I kind of want to go split lane here. And it looks like the firecracker splash may take out most of the tower. We're just gonna go in right here. I didn't mean to Valkyrie there, but honestly it should be fine. His wall breakers won't deal enough damage here. We actually get the perfect bandit timing to avoid the Mega Knight dash, so really good stuff here. And we're just gonna Ram Rider, because I think he won't have enough for Mega Knight on time. And yeah, with that delivery, it shouldn't be enough time. And he does defend with the hunter, but the princess always coming in clutch, so that's gonna be GG right here. Alright, hopping in the third game here, we're going to be up against this guy, and we do have a pretty decent starting hand here. I mean, the really nice thing about this deck is that nobody expects it, and you can kind of have like a good synergy between your cards. Like, you can bait out like mini tanks with your bandit, so then they'll like waste the Valkyrie or whatever that they kind of needed to use on your queen to defend it. So you kind of have good bait with this deck. So yeah, and especially since it's like quite an unknown deck, you can always kind of, I don't know, just surprise them and stuff. Okay, so this guy does have Ghost and Bandit. This better not be another Mega Knight deck, bruh. Alright, so this could still be like a different bridge spam deck, but we're gonna have to see here. Okay, seeing the Magic Archer, it could still be Mega Knight, but it's more likely gonna be Pekka here, which is nice to finally see something new. And yeah, Archer Queen gonna get a ton of... Okay, he's gonna play Pekka. And yeah, Archer Queen is really good against Pekka, to be honest, so not too worried about this matchup. Okay, really good E-Wiz by him right there. He actually, like, if you actually get like some stun, like a Zap, E-Wiz, E-Drag, or Electro Spirit, or Ice Spirit, like right on the Queen as you're about to use the ability, then the Queen actually won't, like, the Queen ability will actually get like reset or something, and you won't actually be able to play it. So, pretty well played there by him, but we do have most of the stuff we need. I mean, we have like Queen, Firecracker for his Pekka. We have I mean, his Battle Ram will be a bit hard to stop, but honestly, Ram Rider isn't too bad against Battle Ram, so that's a thing. We do have Valkyrie for his Ghost, Bandit for his Bandit, and yeah, looking pretty good here. Defensive Battle Ram is actually really good against the Queen usually, but we did have the Valkyrie tanking, so we did still have force him to spend that Pekka, and it's honestly mostly dead already. And Firecracker just gonna get so much value here, because he doesn't have like a fireball ready for it, so yeah, really nice cleanup here. And we're just gonna go with the Ram Rider here to tank for the Magic Archer so it doesn't hit our tower. I'm gonna go with Archers as well, kind of predicting his E-Wiz, but I was kind of hoping he would go with a high E-Wiz so my Archers would kill it, but luckily the Firecracker does get one really nice chip shot in the left lane, which is gonna kind of be all we need here to be in a pretty good spot, because this game is kind of all gonna be about chip, I feel like, because nobody, or I mean like neither side should really be able to break through too well, so yeah. And even though the Battle Ram is a bit hard for us to defend without like a log or a building, at least the nice thing for us is that we keep on going with those aggressive queens, so he never has the chance to use the Battle Ram on offense. He always has to use it on defense, which is really nice for us. And we're gonna sneak in an Archer Queen here. Was hoping the Bandit could dash on his tower if I was able to like surprise him a bit there with that, but he does defend pretty well, and yeah, stuff is looking pretty even here. We could start to go with some Bridge Princesses just to get that chip damage that we need, because he does have a Fireball and we don't have a Fireball, so we're gonna want to be in a little bit of a lead before I don't know, the game gets into a later point. And he's gonna go with the pretty aggressive Pekka there. Not really sure why he did that. So we're gonna go in with some good pressure here, and he might defend it, but even if he does defend it, like, he still spent a ton of elixir on it. So now his Pekka is gonna be, I don't know, kind of wasted, to be honest with you guys. So really good stuff here. We're just going to get a bandit off on his battle ram, but I think we're also going to have to go with the archer queen just to deny that one barbarian that would have hit. Ghost is a little bit annoying for us. Don't have like the cheapest counters to it, but we're just going to kite it with a musketeer, get both towers to target, and then we're going to also get a princess at the bridge. He does end up predicting it with the magic archer, but he does also spend the Ewis, so pretty good for us here. And he will go in with the battle ram, but honestly not the greatest battle ram by him, because it does just go right into those two archers, and also the archer queen kind of shreds it, so really good stuff. And once again, you guys can kind of see that we're applying like really good double lane pressure here. We don't want to ever just like allow him to fully counter our big push with one Pekka. Like, we always go both lanes so that we can kind of force him to use like the Pekka in one lane, and then he has to like spend a ton of stuff in the other lane, so yeah. And these are pretty popular decks that we're facing, so you can see that this deck actually does work, surprisingly. It does kind of get carried by Queen and the lovely Firecracker, so that is one of the reasons, but yeah. And as you guys can see, Firecracker just doing absolute work right here, and probably going to be GG here in a second. Just going to go with aggressive Ram Rider, make sure he can't spell cycle us too much, and the bandit in the right lane is going to get good chip, as well as the Firecracker, so female deck OP, let's go, GG's. Alright, here in the fourth match, we're going to be up against this guy. Alright, so we do have a lot of 3 elixir cards in this deck, which I'm pretty comfortable cycling quickly, but I'm just gonna wait a second for him to make the first play, and he does end up splitting Zappy, so this could be some Royal Hogs deck with recruits or something, or it could really still be a few things, because you never know in GCs. Okay, he's gonna just go with a Goblin Giant Mini Pekka at the bridge. I feel like this guy probably expected me to have Logbait or something, so he just went really aggressive, and he's gonna get a ton of damage, but I don't think he'll be able to defend the counter push too well, because he just spent his entire elixir bar. And we're also going to apply a bit of pressure with the Ram Rider here, and he's going to go with kind of a Panic Mother Witch, to be honest. So this is what, guys, this is why you don't want to go with a mini Pekka Goblin Giant at the bridge first play. Just doesn't work out too well. It looks like we're going to take nearly both of his towers. He will barely defend his right tower, but this is probably already nearly GG. We don't even have that good of a matchup, to be honest, because we don't really have any reset to Sparky or anything like that, so if he just had been more patient, he probably could have beat us, to be honest with you guys. Alright, so he's going to call the GG here, but we're just going to make sure we defend really well and see how the girls do for us on defense. Alright, so he's going to Sparky, but whenever they Sparky in the back, if you Firecracker, it's kind of a pretty good situation for you, because you always will force them to play their Goblin Giant or whatever in front of it, but at the same time, the Firecracker usually does get a couple splash shots on the Sparky as well, so it's gonna work out pretty nicely for us. Hoping that Sparky doesn't get a shot on our Queen. Okay, just barely does survive, so really good stuff. And we are gonna Princess at the bridge, because I know we'll have to spend stuff in both lanes, which isn't going to be ideal for him. He isn't giving up here, but I'm not too worried, because even if he takes one of my towers, if we just defend the other one, we should be looking pretty good here. And yeah, honestly guys, that's why you should kind of just be more passive at the start of games. Like, this guy just went with like Goblin Giant Mini Pekka first play, and it just really cost him what should have probably been a win for him if he had played this matchup correctly, but yeah, just because of how aggressive he was, he didn't get it. And it looks like he is going to put good pressure here. I'm hoping we can still defend. It looks like we do still barely defend, but it doesn't even matter if he takes that tower anyway, so yeah. That's why I'd advise you guys to always like wait at least a handful of seconds before going in with like a super aggressive play in a matchup if you don't even fully know their deck, because you never know what someone can bring out. And looks like he is going to take our left tower, but we easily defended our right tower, so that's going to be GG's here against the ever so hated Sparky. Alright, we're going to be in the next match here, so this should be the final match for the 12 win if we do manage to win it. And by the way, guys, I did cut out one game earlier. I did have one loss so far, but honestly it was just a really bad game, so I cut it out because I just like was looking away from my phone because the Grand Challenge search time was so long, and then this guy just like went really aggressive first play, and I just like lost so much of my tower, so didn't really bother showing that. But I will be showing losses sometimes here on the channel when I feel like I have a constructive loss that like you guys can kind of learn from, and either like see my mistakes or just see that, or see how you want to play a matchup, because sometimes you will lose no matter what you do if the matchup is really bad. So it's never a bad thing to look at your losses and just see how they are and whatnot. Alright, so in the 12 win match, looks like we are going to be up against Splash Yard most likely. There's a chance it could be E-Giant still, like some weird version of E-Giant, but we're actually going to go with the Ram Rider here because I'm pretty sure he has Splash Yard and he wasted Tombstone, so our Ram Rider is basically guaranteed to get a charge off on his tower. Ram Rider is honestly a really good win condition against Graveyard because whenever they have like the Tombstone variant, they never have like a good way to stop your Ram Rider, because the Ram Rider will just like dash on it and fully kill it, and then the snare ability will just finish off the skeletons really easily. And yeah, guys, one of the best females in this deck is going to be Archers here. Just does a really good job against a lot of things. Like, I love my Archers, to be honest. I used them for like so long in my 3.0 Xbow deck, and they just do a really good job against Graveyard, so they're going to serve us really well here. And we also love our Queen, you know, always playing her at the river, spamming her. Alright. Unfortunately, he will actually finish off our Queen a little bit from... unfortunately, he will finish off our Queen just because of the splash damage from, like, the Baby Dragon and Ice Wizard Nova effect, but Princess is going to do a really good job as well. Gotta love your princesses, too. And, yeah, looking pretty good for us. We do have to be a bit careful because he can kind of poison cycle us out if we don't apply enough pressure on him, but the thing is, the nice thing about this deck is that we have like 5 things for him to poison. Like, not really that many, but we have like Princess, we have Archers, we have Firecracker, we have Musketeer. We have a bunch of things for him to poison, so if he poisons one thing, he's not going to have it for the other. So yeah, once again, another reason why this deck has like a really good synergy, I feel like. And Ram Rider also going to get some damage on the right lane, which is honestly pretty good for me, because I do want to make this like a double lane. I don't know how to call it, but like I want to apply pressure in both lanes here, because I know that we're going to have to if we just go like in the same lane the whole game, he's just going to like stack the lane with Ice Wizards and Tombstones and Knights. So I always want to make sure that I'm applying pressure in both of the lanes, that way we can kind of split his attention here. Yeah. And we are always going to be getting these princesses at the bridge. To be honest, normally if I was playing like a different princess deck, I wouldn't be always going with the princesses at the river like that, but in this matchup, we don't really ever need princess for defense. It would kind of just give him a free poison off, so that's why I'm kind of going with the princesses at the bridge more often. And yeah, gonna get nice chip there on the right lane as well, so at this point we kind of just need to get like a bit of a, either like some Queen damage, Ram Rider damage, maybe a bit of Firecracker chip, or even Princess as well. But gonna go with the Ram Rider here, because the thing is, I know he's gonna have to overcommit on it every single time. Like, he's not gonna defend it unless he goes with like a NATO at least as well, so always making him spend a ton. And we're always playing our glass cannon units like kind of in range of our tower to where he can poison it, but at the same time, if he poisons it, then he can't poison our Archers, so then we can defend his graveyards really easily. So yeah, and he does go with a bit of a panic poison there. He does not really hit anything, so not really sure what the point of that was, but we're gonna make a Valkyrie Ram Rider push. And yeah, honestly, these female cards are actually really strong. Like, this has some of the best cards in the game, and that's gonna be GG. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!